Hi, my name is Sarita.
And my name is Rena.
We are both past patients with Mexico Bariatric Center, and we are here to break the stigma of having weight loss surgery in Tijuana, Mexico. We will be covering all things bariatric to help you get the most out of this weight loss journey.
Hi, welcome to episode 2 of our podcast series with Mexico Bariatric Center.
Today, we will be talking about the pre-op diet.
The pre-op diet. Everybody always wants to know, what is the pre-op diet?
Right. So,
what is that?
you need to follow our pre-op diet.
Yes.
Please do not follow other Facebook groups or other doctors or companies. Sure. Our surgeons have made the pre-op diet specifically for our patients.
Yes, and so it's very important to do that.
Yes.
And why is it important to do a pre-op diet? So we are going to shrink your liver in this process.
Right.
Yes.
And the reason for shrinking your liver is so when they do surgery, it is easier to retract your liver, to move it out of the way to do the surgery.
Yes.
And this is for your safety.
Absolutely. And so how do we shrink the liver? By consuming macronutrient meals that will stay in your stomach longer and help you stay full.
Right.
Yes. All right. And so how long is a standard pre-op diet?
So depending on your BMI, your pre-op can be 2 days of clear liquids to 8 full weeks of a pre-op diet, with the last 2 days being clear liquids. Now, some surgeons may require you to have a longer pre-op diet, depending on, specific things about you and your health.
Yep. And how long? I personally had both an 8-week pre-op diet for my first surgery and then a 6-week pre-op diet for my second surgery.
So I had 1 week of pre-op diet for my surgery, so it was not too horrible. It was relatively easy.
I think doing the longer pre-op diet gave me an opportunity to practice some healthy habits, which is really important.
That is very important.
Very important.
And, another question that we get a lot is, why am I not losing weight on pre-op diet? Well, the goal of the pre-op diet is not to lose weight. That is not something we require.
Right.
We're here to shrink the liver. If you lose weight, it's an added bonus.
Yes. Some people actually gain some weight because maybe they don't eat enough sometimes, or maybe they're just not eating the right foods, and then by eating the right foods, sometimes they may actually gain a little, and that's okay. It is okay. Because that's weight loss is not the point with the pre-op diet.
Right. And I know that at some places, facilities, they do require you to lose weight. That is not what we do. So now we're going to talk about what to eat on the pre-op diet.
So what do you eat on a pre-op diet, right? Like, what does that consist of?
So basically, you're going to aim for 2 to 3 meals of solid food. Solid food will stay in your stomach longer, keeping you full.
Yes.
And we're not going to use protein shakes as a meal. We're going to use those in between meals to supplement your day.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So you don't want to use those as a meal. And again, this will also get you into good habits by eating 2 to 3 meals a day, because a lot of times people skip breakfast, lunch, and eat dinner and snack all night. That's not how this will work.
No, not at all. So what you want to do too is weigh your food when you're on the pre-op diet. So it's important to start that habit, because weighing your food after surgery is very important. So you want to, essentially you're going to eat meat and vegetables. Okay, that's pretty much the gist of it. But to go into detail.
Yeah, you're going to eat lean protein. And the easiest way to put it, you're going to eat lean protein and as many vegetables as you like, as long as they are not starchy. No potato, no corn, no peas. There's other ones in there. A question I get a lot is, can I have lettuce? Yes, you can have lettuce.
Please eat the lettuce.
Please eat it.
Eat your protein first, of course.
Right.
But then eat all the lettuce you want until you're full.
Right. So we have a list of vegetables on the pre-op, but of course we can't list everything. It would be many pages long. So as long as a vegetable is not starchy, you can eat that vegetable.
Right. And so each meal would look like 2 to 7 ounces of, like, say, turkey, chicken, fish, or lean ground beef, and then as many vegetables you want to add to your plate as possible. And then you also want to get those healthy fats in. People think fat is like a big no-no, but healthy fats are super important. So you can add like avocado or almonds.
And if you're gonna cook, your meat or saute, or maybe make your own salad dressing, use extra virgin olive oil. That is a healthy fat. Have a handful of nuts for a snack. Eggs are also considered a healthy fat as well, so that's a really good thing to have.
Yes, and olives.
Olives are good.
Throw some olives in your salad. Yum.
Right. And read your labels and look at the serving size.
I'm thinking like a Greek salad with some nice lean chicken.
Right.
And so you would weigh out your chicken. You would have 4 to 7 ounces. You'd have all the lettuce that you wanted in that. You would have. You could throw in a couple of olives, I'm thinking Greek because you could have like that healthy fat salad dressing on it, and not a dairy-based dressing.
Right.
Yeah.
You definitely want to stay away from dairy-based dressings. I say make your own dressing, balsamic vinegar and extra virgin olive oil. It tastes very good on a salad.
Yeah, super good. So one of my favorite things to do was just grill some chicken and then have some like summer vegetables or is it squash, like zucchini?
Yeah, so the squash is like butternut and spaghetti. Those are starchy, so you would not have those.
Not those, but like the regular gardens.
Yeah, like
the
yellow squash,
ones and then the green zucchini. Yeah, like that. I would mix that together. It was so good. So one of the things that I really recommend on pre-op diet is our magic weight loss soup, or weight loss magic soup. And you can find that recipe on the webpage. Matter of fact, the entire pre-op diet is on our website under the nutrition tab. And this recipe is also there. So the magic weight loss soup is like so many vegetables in a crock pot.
Right.
And since you can eat all the vegetables that you want, you can eat all of it that you want. And so one of my favorite things to do was make my chicken. So weigh out my chicken, or weigh out like some lean ground beef or some lean beef tips or something like that. And then I would make a bowl of this soup, right? It's like a chunky vegetable soup, and I would make a bowl of it. And then I would put my weighed out meat in it, and I would have that, and it was so good. And then if I was still hungry, I could still add in more vegetables. Just not more meat, but I could have like another bowl of the soup. And I recommend that to people all the time because it is so delicious.
And this would be, when you say add in meat, we're talking cooked protein, not raw protein.
Yes.
I do get that question a lot, and it's when you weigh your protein, such as chicken or whatever, it's cooked.
One of the things that come up a lot is what happens if I'm at the doctor longer than I plan to be and it's time to eat, or what happens if I'm out on a busy day with my family, or work, if you work and you're out on the road, or whatever. What happens when you didn't plan your meal?
Right.
So what happens, like what would you do if you were out and about in public and realized, oh, I need to eat something?
Personally, I would go to Chick-fil-A and get the grilled nuggets with a kale salad. It's very healthy. It's very good, very filling. Actually, I would get the kids' meal. Another thing that I have done before as well is go to a gas station and get a Fairlife protein shake. Almost all gas stations have them in the refrigerated section.
They do. And some places you can even find not just the Fairlife, but some places you can find protein called the Premier Protein too.
Right, and sometimes muscle milk too.
Yeah, muscle milk's good. As long as, and we'll get to more details about that protein shake too, but as long as it fits the script, any protein shake would work.
Right.
So some other options that I've done on pre-op while I was out, and a lot of these work for post-op as well, but specifically on pre-op, you could go to pretty much any hamburger place. You would want to choose a place that has fresh, never frozen. So like McDonald's wouldn't really be a good option. Something like a Five Guys, or like something with a more gourmet type burger, or any restaurant.
They can wrap it in lettuce instead of a bun.
Yes, they can wrap it in lettuce.
And you can ask them for that. They will usually
and
will
so
accommodate
many
you.
people get their food without buns.
Right.
It's not that hard. And so most all places also have salads. So you could do a burger no bun with a salad instead of fries.
Yeah.
Wings, especially if they're baked, you don't really want fried wings, but most all like pizza restaurants have baked wings. You can always get wings with celery and carrots.
And just say no sauce or plain.
Yeah. And then breakfast places, okay? Breakfast places like Waffle House, like Denny's, or some Huddle House, any of those IHOP type places. You can get meat and eggs, vegetables, salads, omelets. Omelets are always a great.
A veggie omelet.
Just don't forget no cheese.
Right, no cheese.
No cheese, because on the pre-op diet we are going to avoid dairy. Yes. And so Subway has protein bowls, so it's essentially a sandwich on a bed of lettuce instead. That's always good. Lots of places have grilled fingers. Not everywhere. Most places are fried, but you can find some grilled fingers. Taco Bell, I love their bowl of beans.
Yes, you can order a bowl of beans with no cheese.
Bowl of beans, no cheese on pre-op, and then post-op you get to order that bowl of beans with cheese.
It's very good.
Very, very good.
Very tasty.
Love it. Of course, you can always stop by the grocery store and get sandwich meat and maybe some pickles. Well, be careful with the pickles. You can have like a pickle, but you don't want to over consume them with the sodium.
There's a lot of sodium. It can cause you to retain water.
I mean, I guess if you're okay with retaining water, but nobody really wants to, because then you're going to be concerned about your weight again.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, getting to the grocery store always gets you something. You can always find healthy choices there.
Vegetables,
salad.
All
Most grocery stores has like pre-made
salad. Just skip the dairy if it has like shredded cheese, or find something with olive oil, balsamic vinegar. Don't do a dairy-based dressing.
Yes. And then so that's all the foods. So then let's talk about like protein shakes.
Okay.
So what are the protein shake requirements? So like what kind of protein shakes should we be looking at?
So we should be looking at a protein shake with at least 20 grams of protein, less than 5 grams of sugar.
Yes.
Right. So I get this question a lot. There's been some misconception. We can do the approved pre-made Premier Protein.
Yes.
No cafe latte because it has caffeine. Nothing with oats. Can't have grains. Fairlife, Muscle Milk. Those are just a few examples.
Yes, there is actually a Muscle Milk one with like 40 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just learned that today.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my favorite shakes are the Premier lines. I love the Premier shakes, not the powdered, but the pre-made. If I had to choose a powder, it would probably be something like Synthesix.
Okay.
That was one of my favorite powder mixes on pre-op diet. And what about you? What was your favorite?
Fairlife was my favorite. I mean, pre-op, post-op, I did Fairlife.
Yes. And you did mention that kind of confusion about Premier and Fairlife. So I wanted to add in too, because it's something that I feel we should talk about. The Premier and the Fairlife do have dairy. So in the ingredients you will see dairy, but the way it was explained to me by a nutritionist and in my own research, the dairy that's in those shakes is refined so that the parts that affect the liver is removed.
Right. So they are safe to drink.
That makes them approved.
Right.
Yes. Yes. And so things you can do to your shakes. Did you do anything fancy to your shakes, Sarita?
I did not.
Oh, you totally missed out. You could do this now.
I only had 1 week of pre-op, so
you didn't really have time.
I didn't really have time because the first 5 days was the, diet, and then 2 days of liquids. So.
And booking so soon too. Like you really just had to get all your ducks together, right?
I had it.
Yeah. So for me, 8 weeks is a long time. It's a long time.
You have to get creative.
And yes, you do have to get creative. So and I'm going to just say this, when you crave something sweet on pre-op diet, the protein shake is where to go. The protein shake is where it's at because you can make some of the most delicious things. Yes. So on pre-op diet, you are allowed, while you are not allowed to just consume lots of fruit, you are allowed to have half a cup of berries and half a banana, right? Okay, so you can also have like a teaspoon of peanut butter.
Right, and that will fall under your healthy fats.
It does fall under healthy fats. So do you know what is super delicious?
What?
Okay, so
tell me.
So a chocolate protein shake.
Oh,
yes.
I see where this is going.
With peanut butter, like that little teaspoon of peanut butter, half a banana, and a handful of ice, and a blender.
Yum.
It's like a milkshake.
That sounds like a milkshake.
It's so good. And so if you have the pre-made shake, that's great. Or you can use like unsweetened almond milk to make the shake with the powder, the powder protein. And it is so delicious. And if you're craving something like fruity and sweet, fruity duty, you know what you can do? The same thing, except for use vanilla and half a cup of berries and omit the peanut butter.
Right.
But it's so good. It's so good. Definitely go to your protein shakes when you're craving something sweet on pre-op diet. Definitely.
Yep.
Yes. And you can also use unsweetened coconut milk.
Right.
Just don't use like the regular, don't use regular milk, obviously, because it's dairy.
And too much sugar.
Yes. And even the, like regular almond milks and regular coconut milks, you have to get the unsweet.
Unsweet.
Yes. Always important to go with unsweet. So, Sarita, tell me, what things are we supposed to avoid on pre-op diet?
Okay, so the first thing is sugar. So here we have something to talk about sugar. So sugar-free and no sugar added are not the same thing.
No.
Okay. So when you're looking for sugar-free items like sugar-free Jell-O or sugar-free popsicles, you're gonna go for sugar-free, not no sugar added. There's two totally different things.
Totally.
Very important to look at labels, and it's good to get in the practice of looking at labels right now.
And dairy. We've mentioned dairy a couple of times already, but dairy is something that you do want to avoid on pre-op diet.
Very true.
Yes.
No dairy.
No dairy. No cheese. Which was really hard for me.
Yeah, cheese is always, I think cheese is a hard one for a lot of people because we love cheese.
She's been our best friend.
Yeah.
We had to break up for 8 weeks.
Yeah, my best friend was caffeine.
We made up though. We became friends. Very early on in the post-op phases, we became friends again.
Yeah.
Yes. And she wasn't even mad at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had to break up with cheese again for 6 weeks.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But we're friends again. Permanently. Permanently. And then caffeine.
My friend.
Caffeine is important. You can't have caffeine.
Yeah, so cutting out caffeine, pre-op, I really recommend weaning off of it because if you go cold turkey, you're gonna have that withdrawal headache for a few days, and it's not fun. So if you have a long pre-op, try and wean off of it. You're supposed to stop all caffeine 2 weeks before you have surgery. So if you have a long pre-op, you have time.
That's true. That's true. And I mean, if you're booking further out too, you have time to kind of wean off several things that you need to avoid prior to starting the diet.
And there's caffeine in soda as well. You have to wean yourself off of that.
Caffeine and chocolate.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of caffeine.
Yeah. Caffeine in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then so breads and grains. What are bread? Like what are grains?
So oatmeal, pasta, bread, obviously.
Does rice fall in that category?
Yeah, rice, brown rice, anything grains.
So no rice, no pasta, no breads. So you can't take that yummy 4 to 7 ounces and slap it on a sandwich. Nope. No breads. Yeah. And no carbs. So like going back to like the vegetables, you want to avoid like potatoes, peas. I always say pizza, pasta, potatoes, but I always mean to say potatoes, pasta, and I always mean to say pasta, potatoes. I just lost it. Start back over.
No carbs.
No carbs. Can't do carbs.
I mean, you're going to find a few carbs in some of the things that you have in pre-op, but it's very minimal.
Well, you just don't want to opt for bread or potatoes. I mean, there's healthy carbs in a lot of things, but just avoid pasta, potatoes, breads, and you should be okay. Yeah. Some other important things to cut out are ginseng, omega-3, garlic, and ginger supplements. All of these things increase bleeding.
Right. So I don't suggest cooking with garlic. Ginger, some people do use that to cook. So just cut all of those out 2 weeks before surgery. Yes. You don't want to increase your bleeding risk.
Yes. I mean, if your seasoning has a little tiny some garlic, you're not gonna like bleed out from that.
No, but don't
add garlic.
Right. Don't eat like bowls of garlic.
Because people do ask me, well, my seasoning has garlic in it. That's okay. Yeah. That's okay. I mean, don't overdo it, but it's not gonna hurt you.
Right.
Right. And so also some other things people ask us about all the time. And yes, you do have to cut out alcohol, marijuana, THC products, all of these things at least 2 weeks before surgery.
Right.
And then other things that you want to cut out are like vitamins. There are some patients who take vitamins and it's necessary for them to take it.
Right.
In those cases, we would say contact the surgeon liaison, Jen, and talk to her specifically about your situation and your vitamin need.
So on a case by case,
Yes. Yeah. And then NSAIDs. So you want to stop NSAIDs because NSAIDs can cause stomach thinning. And oral contraceptives and female hormones should be avoided 2 weeks before, as well as probiotics.
Right. Nicotine. This is always a question.
Oh, nicotine.
You need to quit smoking or vaping 2 months before surgery.
At least 2 months.
Right, at least 2 months before surgery.
Yes. And then in terms of like prescription medications, of course, all these things are not food items, but they are part of the pre-op process. So you want to bring all of your prescription medications with you in the labeled bottles, but in terms of what you can and can't take before pre-op, that as long as you put all your medications on your health questionnaire, you should have been notified what to stop taking and when. Right. But also, again, reach out to the surgeon liaison and ask her specifically what you should or should not stop taking.
Right.
Coordinators can't really help with that. They're not medical professionals.
Right. And Jen is our medical liaison, surgical liaison. She's a doctor.
Yes.
She is able to answer these medical questions, medication questions, but it's really important to bring your medication in the original bottle.
Yes.
Not a pill case.
Right. Well, at the airport, that you might get your pills confiscated if you do that.
Your pill case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what you have.
Right. So
and they're not gonna search it. They're just gonna be like, oh, dumb.
Right. You don't know. TSA.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know. You could get like a totally chill agent, and you could get one that's like following all the rules.
Right. And they'll dump all your medicine out.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen.
What's our clear liquids?
Clear liquids is clear liquids.
Anything you can see through.
Yes. Anything you can see through. And who has to do the clear liquid diet?
Everybody.
For how long?
2 days.
2 days. 2 days.
2 days before surgery.
Yes, 2 days before surgery.
So
if your surgery is on Friday, you should start clear liquids on Wednesday.
Right.
Yes, so Wednesday.
Count back 2 days.
And Thursday, and then surgery on Friday.
Right.
I do get asked often, when do I start my clear liquids? 2 days before. So definitely do that. And then, yes, anything you can see through. So what are some things we can have on clear liquid diet?
So some of the things you can have on clear liquid diet are broth.
Broth.
You can have sugar-free popsicles.
Yes.
You can have sugar-free Jello.
Mm-hmm.
You can have protein 2.0.
Yeah, protein 2.0. It's a
2.0.
water, flavored water.
I said 2.0.
Yeah,
Powerade, Gatorade Zero,
Yes.
flavor packets. I use Mio. I like Mio. Crystal Light.
I personally don't like Crystal Light because it
I
has aspartame. I don't do aspartame, but
There's so many choices out there.
there's one called like True Lemon, True Lime. I've seen people use those. Anything to flavor water. You can also flavor water naturally with just lemon.
Right. Or just plain water.
Just plain water.
That's
Room
fine
temperature
too.
water is best for you
Yeah.
too.
So clear liquids, anything you can see through, 2 days. Everybody has to do it.
And I get, but what if my Gatorade Zero is red?
It's fine.
But it's red. Will the surgeon think that my stomach is bleeding?
No.
I know.
We get that question a lot.
No, you can have red. It's
can
okay.
have red.
You can have red, blue,
Again,
green.
you're following
white.
our pre-op diet,
Yes.
not someone else's.
Yes,
And
there are pre-op diets out there that say you can't have red clear liquids, but our surgeons don't have that.
I think another thing that we get a lot too is, do I need to take a laxative before surgery? No,
Well, it's
you
not
do
required.
It's not required.
Did you do that?
No.
I didn't the first time, but I did the second.
I get that question a lot, and it's not required. However, some other facilities require it.
They
but
do.
We don't require that.
It's not required, but you can totally do it if you want.
Right. If you like, you can.
If you want. Up to you. You know what one of the best things about the clear liquid diet is? And then you're traveling. Because you're traveling on clear liquids. And it's hard.
It is hard.
Because, like, didn't you have, like, an experience with that?
Well,
What was that like for you?
when I was traveling on Valentine's Day doing clear liquids, she threw candy at me. The flight attendant threw candy at me in my lap. I was sleeping and she just left it there.
Yes.
And I couldn't have it. And I smelled all kinds of good food in the airport and on the plane. First class, you know, they serve you a meal and snacks and more snacks. And, yeah, so.
I don't even like coffee, but I kept smelling coffee and I wanted coffee so
love coffee.
bad. I don't
But
really
I quit coffee, so I couldn't have that either.
But I wanted it. I think I wanted it because I couldn't have it.
Right.
Just because I couldn't have it.
Everyone else around me was having it.
I know. But you know what you can do? You can take bouillon cubes with you on your travels. And you can ask for a cup of hot water on the plane. They can serve coffee. They can serve hot water.
That's right.
You can go to a coffee shop at the airport
And
get hot water.
Right, like Starbucks.
Yes, and you can dunk your bouillon cubes and have yourself some broth on the plane.
Right.
And so that's great. And then one of the most awesome things about NBC and traveling and being on clear liquids is you get there and you're just famished, right?
You're hangry.
You're hangry. You've been just drinking all day and traveling and so when you get to the hotel coordinator presents you with this wonderful
meal.
Happy meal.
Happy meal.
They call it your happy meal. And you know what? It's broth. It's sugar-free Jello. It's sugar-free popsicles. But it is a happy meal because it really makes you happy to get that.
Right.
Something that normally you would just probably turn your nose up at. You are really happy to have it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So let's talk about cheating.
Let's talk about cheating.
Yeah. So let's talk about cheating prior to the clear liquid. What happens if you cheat and you're like 6 weeks out from surgery?
Well, personally, I never cheated. I only had 1 week.
You only had 1 week.
I only had 1 week. I didn't have time to cheat. However,
it's not hard.
Right.
To go a week.
I understand that it can happen. If it happens, you know, don't beat yourself up over it.
Right.
Start over.
Just start over.
However, really try and stick to the pre-op diet because when you get to Mexico and you are having surgery, they're going to be able to tell if you follow that pre-op diet.
Yeah, they're going to know if you shrunk your liver.
Yes.
I mean, they literally see your liver. They're going to know.
And you definitely do not want to get canceled after getting started.
Yes.
You know, you'll be out thousands of dollars. You know, you flew there, the hotel, just the surgery itself.
Yeah, it's definitely in your best interest not to cheat.
Right.
But cheating does happen. Don't beat yourself up. You go to a kid's birthday party, you're on 6 weeks, and you
have a bite of cake.
You have a tiny bite of cake.
Right.
Or let's say you had like a big piece of cake. You know what? Just start over tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, don't eat the cake on purpose thinking I'll start over tomorrow, because it's in your best interest not to. But if it happens, it happens, you know. Just start over. And then one of the biggest things that I've seen a lot is people saying, oh, I ate on the day before surgery.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do not do it. You are risking your health.
You are. You really are. And you're, again,
you're risking
getting canceled.
Yeah, getting canceled.
And after you get put to sleep, after you've done pre-op, and you have to pay for all of that.
Right.
Yes. And your flights.
Right.
You've risked all of that.
Time. And a lot of patients will say this in the Facebook groups, and it's not even just our group, it's other groups. And it's just, please do not cheat. I mean, eat. Both. Well, eat and cheat.
Don't
on clear liquids.
On clear liquids.
Do not do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's
for your health.
It's not worth it. People have done it and they have gotten away with it. They got lucky.
Right.
They really got lucky.
You might not get lucky.
No, we hear about and see people all the time who get canceled for doing this.
You do not want that to happen.
Yep. So if you have any questions about the pre-op diet, you can shoot us an email or call or text, and we'll be glad to help you.
Yes, we sure will.
Yes.
We have been through the pre-op diet ourselves.
Yes.
2 times for her, 1 time for me. We know all about the pre-op diet.
And we help people every day with it.
Right. I answer questions every day about pre-op. Yeah.
Every day.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
And we will see you on the next episode. Yes, next time.
Bye.
Bye.
If you have any questions or want to share your bariatric weight loss journey, you can call or text us at 480-999-4826 or send an email to podcast@mexicobariatriccenter.com. You can also follow Mexico Bariatric Center on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Keep in mind, these are the opinions of the host. The views represented do not reflect or define the values of Mexico Bariatric Center. This podcast is sponsored by Emerge Bariatrics and Mexico Bariatric Center. Please visit mexicobariatriccenter.com for more information.